This poor sucker accidentally slept with his girlfriend's doppelganger. But is it cheating? The debate tonight on the Six Ad Cast. As I live and breathe, it is a Six Ad Cast for Thursday, March 5th, 2020. On my left, I am joined once again, as always, by my good friend Manuel.
Hey, what's up?
And on my other side, on my right, is my other half, Sarah.
Hi.
And now we have Kitty on the table. No, don't nuzzle the mic.
Kitty, who did you vote for on Tuesday?
Sarah had mentioned last night at some point about how fast this year is just flying by.
It feels very slow and it's fast at the same time.
Yeah.
What is that? When you're getting?
Nah, I think that means when you're getting old.
No. No, are you sure?
Time just kind of flies right by you.
What's the term called for when you're getting fucked and you're fucking someone at the same time?
I don't know if there's a term for that.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening right now.
Like to us because we're old. and then on top of that, like this upcoming Sunday is daylight savings. We're going to lose another hour. I mean, I love me some sleep, and the idea of losing an hour really that hurts.
You actually love sleep,
Yes, I like to sleep,
but yet you stay up super late.
but then I sleep real good.
You make love to sleep.
Oh yeah, I love to sleep.
Not that much.
So what? I stay up late. So what?
If you love sleep like I do, you would go to bed at a reasonable time,
You sleep like a cat. You get like 16 hours.
which I need because I love sleep.
She loves it.
And so, I love to at least get my 8. I'm good. Just,
You don't even get 8.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
How would you know? You're always sleeping.
During the week, fuck you. During the week, you go to bed at 2 or 2:30, sometimes 3, and then you wake up at 7:45.
Yeah.
Do the math.
But then, do you sleep at work?
No. I'm always too busy at work. But there might be a cash-in day where I'm just like, all right, I'm going to take a nap. Mm-hmm. And then I just catch up on all the hours that I lost. So in the end, I'm still getting all my hours. They're just on the back end.
No.
People say that you can't catch up. Like, no matter how many times you do sleep or if you can't catch up.
That's interesting.
And that makes sense, right? Because you're sleeping to catch up on the night before, the 2 nights before, the week before. But technically, you already passed up more new hours.
Oh, yeah. And then as you sleep, you're like, well, what about this week? You're losing time in this week to catch up on this bank of sleep that you're missing out. Yeah. Okay, now that he's just explained it that way, he's mansplained it to me. I'm never going to catch up. Makes me feel even more.
You are sexist.
What? I'm not sexist.
You're just like the new boss on Office.
Oh, yeah. Will Ferrell.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Michael just left, and now we got Will Ferrell.
How was that last episode with Michael?
It was sad.
It was pretty sad. It was kind of hard to watch. Thank goodness I was facing away from Sarah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, now we're getting into the part of the seasons where it's like, okay, it could be a little difficult to sit there.
Yeah. No. It gets back to normal, but it's different without Michael.
How have you been in the week that we've been gone?
Good, just busy.
Did y'all ever figure out a way to adequately arrange the furniture in the living room?
Yeah.
You did? You got it?
Yeah.
You found the sweet spot. You happy with it?
Yeah.
Right.
And, we're going to debut it on this Sunday, but you guys are not coming?
No.
Yeah. I forgot it was the Sunday.
I completely forgot that, 10 days later after Super Showdown that they were going to do another pay-per-view? Come on.
Yeah.
They're asking a lot from us. But yeah, we had already made these plans weeks in advance, and then it just didn't occur to me to check the calendar for Elimination Chamber.
Clara, you're not going to want to go watch the Elimination Chamber. Goldberg is the champion.
I never said no.
Oh.
But we have that. We're not
going to be there for 6 hours.
You don't think we'll be there? Well, I don't know how long we'll be there. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure we'll be able to make it.
Okay, we might make some of it. I have no idea. I'm just expecting this to go on till 9 o'clock at night. And yeah, Goldberg is the world champion. I'm not really all that happy about it. And he's not even going to be there.
No,
he's not. So. He's a world champion, and he's not going to be there. Is Lesnar going to be there?
I don't think so. I don't think
so
this
either.
is because the Elimination Chamber was going to determine the number one contender for SmackDown, but now Roman Reigns said, "I'm in."
Yeah, I'm
the one.
He just kind of got it. Okay, so this is how I get those points because I was worried that they weren't going to put him in the Elimination Chamber and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, this is what I drafted you for, and now they're just going to give it to him. I'm like, okay, fine. Hopefully, I win.
Mm-hmm. You will.
We don't know.
Goldberg.
I lost a lot of points on Raw.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Goldberg is not going to win at WrestleMania and then go on to Backlash. No. That's not how that works anymore.
Yeah. Sarah, how have you been in the week that we've been gone?
Good. We had a fun weekend together.
Yeah, that we did. What did we do?
Toy fair.
How was that?
That was actually pretty neat. It was in a part of town. I don't even remember. Like, what part of town was this? Out in Houston.
It was
Here we go.
610 and 290 Hempstead.
Why? Okay, so why do you say a part of town?
Because I have no idea where I was.
It looked sketch just because it used to be Northwest Mall, but of course 3/4 of it are closed off, and then the 1/4 that's huge is the antique mall.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of neat. That it was a giant antique mall, and what they did was they sectioned off a corner of it for this toy fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also the surrounding area is like bushes and stuff, and there's like train tracks, and then there was like an old.
It was sketch.
There was like an old rice plant that.
But
was
we
all
had been
rusted
there
up.
before.
Yeah, there's a Pizza Inn like right around the corner, or like a couple blocks away, and we've been to that Pizza Inn.
Pizza Inn, INN? The
Yeah.
Pizza Inn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went with David and Anna one day when we were all hanging out.
Yeah, somehow randomly me and Sarah previously had seen a Pizza Inn because we were on our road to go do something, and then
It was on our way to Renfest.
Oh, okay. And then months later, we find ourselves in a part of town with David and Anna, and I'm like, this feels familiar, and I don't know why. And then we rounded a corner, and there was the Pizza Inn. And so now this time, when we were leaving the mall, I again thought, I was like, something feels familiar. And then there was an intersection, and there's the Pizza Inn.
I didn't even know there was still Pizza Inn. I thought it was completely bankrupt, like gone.
Yeah. It doesn't, obviously the recipe is not the same. It tastes just like a regular pizza now, but it's a Pizza Inn.
Yeah, we found some boxes from Little Caesars in the trash, but I don't know.
And that's what they do. So yeah, we ended up walking away with a giant Eevee pop that you see right over there in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And
Been waiting for her.
And a 300-piece puzzle of Star Wars that I have found to be more difficult than it actually looked, because so many of the pieces look exactly the same because of the color. There's like this orangey tint to the whole puzzle, and all I was able to do was like the outer rim. So I know I'm off tomorrow. Maybe I'll sit down and do some of that and watch movies or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah, so that was fun. Sarah actually got to finally see Anna and the Apocalypse.
I did.
Oh, is that the musical?
Yeah, it's that zombie musical Christmas comedy.
Okay.
And yeah, so
It was cute.
Did you? Okay.
she enjoyed some of the music.
I did. The very first song.
And then she went off to go run an errand, and when she came back in, I could hear her phone, and she was playing part of the soundtrack. I was like, yes, she loves it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did like that song.
Or at least likes one song. I don't know if she's going to put it in like regular rotation like I'm going to. I'm so happy that I have it.
Mm-hmm.
It took
A while.
like 28 days for it to get to me from eBay.
Canada.
It came from Canada. Like
Oh.
I ordered it on the 1st of February. The dude didn't ship it until the 4th, and then it pretty much got to me like on the 28th or 29th.
Wow.
Like it was absurd how long it took for that movie to get to me.
It's got to be cheap then, I guess, because they're not spending money.
No,
You know.
I mean, but I did pay like $17 for the damn
The
thing.
guy said it was $20 extra to get tracking.
Yeah, there was no tracking number,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Are you like? I'm sorry, what?" And he was like, "There's no tracking number."
We automatically get it here in the States. Okay.
I guess.
Not-
and so,
and if you do the cheap option,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that. I thought the cheap option was, nah, we'll mail it. Trust me.
because when I've mailed just random stuff at the post office, you go and they like weigh it or they check it in, and right there when they print out your receipt, when you pay them, on the receipt is a tracking number.
Really?
Yeah. So
Right.
I was like, oh, I mean, this can't be that hard. I mean, unless you literally, if you're shipping out this movie, you wrap it up, you write my name on it, and you just put it in your mailbox. Well, then I guess there's no tracking number. Like, before it even hit the 19th, I was like, hey, dude, do you have a tracking number? Like, I just want to know where this thing is. And he couldn't help me. And so there was like a couple of back and forths with there. And I wanted to ask him, like, what if I just don't get it? And I want a refund. Because, like, when that 19 comes and it's not here, my patience then starts to run out. I'm like, right now I'm worried.
And what did he say?
That's when he told me that
Sorry,
there
no
in Canada,
refunds.
they don't do that. It would have cost like $20 more to get it. So I was like, so you literally have nothing for me to go on. I'm going on faith alone.
Yeah.
You could have just taken my money and said you've shipped it. And I'm just not going to do. I wanted to ask for my money because there was someone else in Illinois that had it on eBay. And I wanted to
more expensive though.
No, it was like the same price.
Oh,
I would have like taken my money back and just given it to that guy and be like, "Can I just have this fucking movie?" But I did tell this guy in Canada that I have ordered stuff from Japan that has gotten to me inside of like 2.5 weeks.
No, what was also sketchy is that the guy that he bought from had a listing again of that movie.
Oh yeah, but it was the same image of the picture that I had clicked. I started to give up hope, and then it just came.
Oh, something big happened.
I was about to ask you, has anything crazy happened with the kids in the haunted house?
No, not that.
Okay.
Though I watched Annabelle Comes Home. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Did you?
What?
Watch Annabelle. I love it because she's down to have the conversation, but she like as you mean she was like, what? Like tell me, you know? But that was like a genuine response. Like, what the fuck did you say?
Like, how many of these are there?
Yeah, the third one, the Annabelle Comes Home.
No, I did not watch that.
No.
And did you said? Yeah.
I did. I saw the movie by myself.
How did you see it without her? Oh, I guess this is one of those.
Was that out of town?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
It came out I think in Halloween, right? On Halloween-ish time.
I honestly want to just say you were working, and no one wanted to see it with me, and I just went because I needed to see it.
I didn't watch it on the theater. I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. But it was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
it kept me at the
out of the three Annabelle movies, it's probably the best one, and that it's really not all that high. Like I rank it like probably even with The Nun. The Conjuring movies are the two best ones. Yeah, 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
And then after that, it's like The Nun and Annabelle 3, and then like the other two.
The Nun, bro, it was too Hollywood. What are you talking about?
I mean,
kind of like the werewolf in Annabelle 3. The werewolf. I was like, what?
There was a random werewolf in this movie.
Am I to believe that this was real? Like this was actually like you were able to see this. The guy was able to see it. It looked like a werewolf from the R.L. Stein like Goosebumps.
No. It wasn't all that great. There were parts of this movie that were
great,
pretty entertaining, and then there was the stuff that's. Just,
I thought about it. I was like, if they removed the werewolf completely with the boy, wouldn't have made a difference. Wouldn't have made one difference. No. Anyway, yeah, but that's not what made the news today. The cruise industry has taken a punch and a gut punch, I'll say. So it has slowed down a lot.
Okay,
and they fired everybody today.
The cruise, like,
my job. Yeah.
No,
I did not get fired. Oh, okay. There was a select few who had good sales, and they are not fired. And because they said everybody who ramped up from 2019 to 2020 new hires, they're gone.
Wow.
But I sold 150,000 from mid-November, 150,000 in sales, so they kept me on.
Did you get a pay bump?
No.
Okay, so it's just a steady flow.
Which is kind of like a raise.
Okay, yeah, especially you're doing off commission. Mm-hmm. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you got a raise.
Yeah, because dude, when I read that email and it said that they were gonna have to and it's a temporary layoff, like you're fired, you're gone, but once the business kicks back, you have your job.
Yeah, it's like once we can take care of this coronavirus thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was crazy. I read it and I was like, wait, what? And I like messaged somebody. I was like, so I don't have a job, and they're like, if you didn't, you would not be able to message. Everybody's getting phone calls, because they just like deactivated everything. They got fired, and then
man. Okay, so within the homestead, nothing paranormal to report?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good.
Same here.
Oh yeah, there's no. At least we don't think there's any more possums.
Did you recreate the noise? I'd be interested to try and recreate the noise, the loud bang.
That was the attic falling down.
Just like it, like hitting.
No,
it's super old,
and
they even tell us not to mess with it, and I bet it's because of that. Like, just any bit of weight on it would just fly open. Oh,
Did you hear how loud it was when I pushed the thing back up to the... Yeah, it's loud. It's crickety. It's all rusty. It's old wood.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's just... That's all that was.
I would try to recreate it, just, like, let it one drop, you know?
Oh, God. No, because then it, like... all that dust and shit falls, then I got to clean up again.
Oh, okay.
I'm not cool.
Oh, okay.
But
like, we've also... If there's another possum up there and it comes down, can't afford that.
We've also not gotten any feedback if the pest people...
guy has come or not.
We have no idea.
Hard time.
No, they need to get up there and
Bad communication.
make sure that there's no possums up there.
Because then we had a big roach come in the house today.
Oh, dude, that son of a bitch was like...
That's not a roach, bro. That's a mouse.
It was a wood roach. And son of a bitch was so big, when I turned on the light, he just kind of like just kept about his business. He was like,
didn't even...
No. After I had killed him, I thought, this motherfucker didn't even flinch. I flinched. Just because he was
You turned the light on and looked you straight in the eyes. I was like, what's up?
He's like, hey, man, where's the food?
Oh, you live here?
Oh, God. Yeah, I had to kill him. And
So, we have no idea where it came from.
Yeah. Also, we don't have roach spray in the house, which we need to fix that. Because all we had was wasp spray. Because when we were in the apartment, we're on the second floor, all we had to deal with was wasps. So I took it and I panicked and I sprayed the roach with the wasp spray. And all it did was like freak him out. And he started running around, which freaked me out. And I had to step on him.
Isn't that crazy how, like, you would think that the whatever spray you have works for ants or for, like, it just would be multi-purpose. Nope.
I guess
If it tells you it's for one thing, that's what it kills. The other stuff just gets pissed that you got it wet.
Yeah.
And so I told Sarah, I don't know why we have this in the kitchen. I was looking at like stuff and I'm like, oh, we got to have bug spray. And I was like, no, that's not it. This is cleaning stuff. And then I looked at something. I was like, oh, that's roach spray. And I turn it around. It's Armor All. I'm like, what? I was like, why? And then for a moment, I thought, why the fuck do we have Armor All in the house? Why would we've never needed this? And I looked and the roach is still kind of just, I was like, I need to kill him.
Did you step on it or no?
I did step on it.
Oh,
it was
the feeling.
Yeah. It was like stepping on a giant grape or a strawberry.
You even heard it like talk back, you bitch.
And then, like, as soon as that happened, I had like 2 seconds to like chill, and then I heard the door open, and I thought, fuck me sideways, Sarah's home. I don't want her to see this. And then she walked straight through the house, right into the kitchen, and I was like, there's a big roach, and I killed it.
I had ice cream, and I need to get in the freezer.
I didn't want her to see the scene, because it was pretty gross. But yeah, she saw it.
It didn't bother me. I do a puke on a daily basis.
Oh, I was going to say, no, I pick up the poop.
No, I deal with puke on a daily basis pretty much.
Okay, so she picks up the puke and feeds the cats, and I shovel the shit.
Who pukes?
Kitty.
Why?
She eats too fast.
Oh.
That's what we think.
No, that's what I know.
Oh.
Yeah. She just kind of goes and she just
watch.
The food.
Haven't you noticed that when I pick up her head and I say, slow down. Slow down.
She did that.
She doesn't get sick.
She did that this morning as I'm getting ready for work. Oh, no, maybe it was the other day, 2 days ago.
And I just did it when I fed them dinner.
Because I'm like minding my own business in the mornings. Like if she's still here and I'm doing whatever and I hear, slow down. Slow down. And I just ignore it. And I kind of glance over and she's kneeling down with Kitty like, stop it. Slow down. Sensible.
I can't give her smaller portions. She'll pretty much just be eating 2 pebbles.
Yeah.
Because I've been shortening their portions.
Yeah.
Because of this one. But even the littlest, which I experienced Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
She had just very little. And she went running around and then bleh.
Yeah, after she eats, she's then like, oh, God, I need to go run a mile. And she just goes up and down the house for whatever reason.
I have a lot of energy.
Yeah, but she's fat. So, like, I remember when I was fat and I would run, I'd be like, oh, my God, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Especially if you just ate.
And I guess eating cat food for this cat's like eating a bowl of pasta. Like, running is the last thing that you need to do after you eat something fully.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So we also had a cat at my parents' house that would eat and throw up. And for the longest, I didn't know why. I'm like, are you not chewing your food?
And he was fat.
And he was super fat. He's still fat. I love that cat. But I made some calls and they told me like how much protein to get. I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's cat food. I don't know. And then like give him high protein cat food and that should stop the throwing up. And it did for like a week. And then he just started doing it again. I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to keep buying him expensive cat food.
If it's not going to work.
Yeah, because that's what I was told. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I kept looking at him like, you literally throw up all of your food. How are you fat?
Yeah.
Because you're not keeping anything down. I don't understand how their chemical makeup functions.
I had no clue about that at all. That world.
Yeah. So if you ever get a pet, get a dog. Well, I watched 2 movie franchises in the week that we were gone. Sarah actually sat with me and watched some of the See No Evil franchise.
Mm-hmm. Is that one of the franchises?
That's what I watched. Yeah, See No Evils 1 and 2, and then the Last Summer franchise. I Know What You Did Last Summer. There were 3 of those. So Sarah, not knowing anything about See No Evil, what was your opinion of sitting through some of these things with me?
Awful.
They were just awful.
Not as bad as It's Alive or whatever that movie was.
Oh yeah, It's Alive 3.
God, that was fucking awful.
It was pretty bad.
It was ugly. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, they did not have a whole lot of money to do It's Alive 3.
But somehow, I told Nick, some of See No Evil 2 or whatever it was, seemed very familiar to me. And it's because of the whole like party scene and how that
how they worked at a morgue.
No, what's the girl with the fetish for serial killers, not the dead, but yeah. Love serial killers.
Yeah, she was very knowledgeable in that. The See No Evil franchise follows this character that's played by Kane. It was WWE Studios years back, and I think this was their first movie, right?
The mayor of Knoxville?
Yeah.
In Knoxville, Tennessee, yeah. See No Evil was their first WWE movie, right? Mm-mm. What was their first one? Was it The Condemned?
I thought this was their first movie.
I want to say this was their first. No, it was not The Marine.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. But I don't think it was The Marine.
It was The Marine. No.
How old is The Marine?
There's more. There's one before that.
There's like 7 Marine movies.
You're wrong. There's
Why?
14.
Okay, there's like 6. There's not 14. It's not The Land Before Time. Oh yeah, okay. And remember when I was naming off all those movie franchises? Yeah, The Marine. They have like 6 of those.
Ew.
John Cena, I think, was in the first 2. And then they got like Randy Orton and then like The Miz and wasn't Ted DiBiase Jr. in one of them?
Randy could not be in it, remember?
Oh, that's right. He couldn't be in it.
But Ted DiBiase was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Jacob Goodnight is the character that Kane plays, and he was abused as a child by his mother to see the sins because she was crazy. So then she made him crazy and she abused him. And so he grew up to, I don't know, be bigger than Michael Myers and like he's like the Hulk. And he lived in this abandoned hotel. And in the first movie, there's these juveniles from a detention center that are being brought in to help clean it up. And they're all a bunch of like a faceless, beautiful people. And the only person that I recognized from there was from Jessica Jones, her sister, the radio DJ or whatever her name was. Mm-hmm. She was like a baby in the first movie. And you don't care about none of these people. And so they go wandering around, having sex and smoking drugs and all that. And so everyone's going to die because you can't do none of that stuff in a horror movie. And so here comes Kane and he murders everybody and all that. And when he allegedly gets killed, I had a big problem with it because of the way he died. And I knew that he was not a supernatural entity like Jason, Freddy, or Michael. And so when he died and then they went and did a sequel, I was upset. And Sarah had told me, I don't know why you're getting upset. You should know by now like what you're getting into. And I was like, yeah. But it wasn't realistic. And which is a dumb thing to say, given everything that I like. Oh yeah, the Leprechaun movies; those are more realistic than See No Evil.
Yeah, especially when they go to the hood.
At the end of the first movie, Jacob Goodnight gets pierced in the eye with a lead pipe, falls like 10 stories, falls through like a glass Miranda of some sort, and gets the pipe that's stuck in his head. He hits another pipe, and somehow he does not die. And yet, when he hits the ground, we go through like a Mortal Kombat type of X-ray thing, and the glass that shattered beneath him goes up through his back and pierces his heart. Like we see that happen. So he's dead. And then in the second movie, it takes place shortly after the first movie, and they're like bringing the dead bodies in, and they go and they put him on the table, and then he just kind of gets up and he starts killing again. And I'm like, no, he fucking died. How does he live? Like, how did he do? And that was like my big problem. Like, the second one,
the fire still burns.
The second one was much better than the first one, and it's really strange to go into a sequel of a franchise and get faces that are more recognizable than what you had in the first one. They had more money, the visual effects, the makeup, and all that was a lot better, but it was still really stupid. And then this time, at the end of the movie, Kane gets impaled with the embalming rod. And the dude turns on the pump and all the blue liquid goes into Kane and he kind of, convulses. He falls over, and I'm like, good, he's dead now. No, he's not. At the end of the movie, there's a kid that was escaping. Kane was in the backseat of the car, and he grabs the dude by the back of the head, and he like crushes his head. And I'm like, no. Like, I have a bigger problem with him living through being embalmed than he falling 10 stories and all that stuff.
A bigger problem with it?
Because now I look at Sarah, and I'm like, he's supernatural now. Like, you're not supposed to survive that, but
Michael Myers survives a lot of stuff. And
Thank you. That's what I said.
And see, that's what Sarah said. And I said,
and
no.
he's not supernatural.
He is possessed by evil. And
how do we know that?
Is driving him because they don't actually say that he is, but Dr. Loomis is running around saying he's evil, he's pure evil. And so you just kind of take his word for it because there's no other explanation for that.
Or
because
proof
everything in the
that
Halloween, or at least the original 2 Halloween movies, was played straight. And so when you shoot Michael and he doesn't die, like, what is the explanation for there?
That he's wearing a suit, under another suit that,
So you think Michael Myers was wearing a
bulletproof
Kevlar vest in the events of the original Halloween movie?
Yeah. He was like, oh, what is it? I'm just gonna wear it. But it turns out,
he's like, oh, I can repel bullets now. Hardy har.
until they shoot my hand, and that hurt. That hurt like a bitch.
That's right. He lost like 2 of his fingers. Then I went and watched the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies.
Before we move on, I did look at the WWE Studios thing. Did
Yeah.
you know the Scorpion King was part of studio? Like it was a partnership with WWE Studios and Universal.
You talking about like the original Scorpion King?
The Scorpion King with the rocket. The Rundown is what.
Yeah, the Rundown.
Yeah, Scorpion King, the Rundown, Walking Tall are all WWE Studios, and then finally See No Evil.
Wow.
Was in May of 2006, and The Marine was in October 2006.
Wow.
Dang, so they were just cranking them out. Like, they do them faster than what Blumhouse is doing. Mm-hmm. They're just cranking them out. They go for half the money.
Blumhouse is so much better.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
There's at least a statute of quality right there in those movies. So yeah,
Sarah, have you ever seen The Marine?
No.
have you?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've never seen The Marine. There was a part of me several years back that was like, I wonder if I should watch all of WWE's movies. And then I started looking through the catalog, and then I got to like Knucklehead and The Chaperone, and I said, no. I will sit through the worst of Ernest movies before I even look.
You like those fucking movies,
No,
though.
Yes,
I don't.
he does.
I don't like Ernest Goes to Africa or When He Went to School. Okay, I didn't like those.
But still,
Or
Goes to
how about Slam Dunk Ernest? Do you think I'm going to enjoy that? I'm not.
it
I bet
sounds
you
like
would
they.
now.
Yeah, it sounds like they go back to the hood.
No, he did go back to school. God,
And go to space.
no, Ernest never went to space. Sarah, that's just dumb.
See right there? That's just dumb. Really?
Yeah, okay.
He could fight trolls, but he's not going to space, Sarah.
Ugh.
So the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, we know what these are, right? Kids being drunk, they hit a guy on the side of the road, they think he's dead, he's actually not. So
You saw all 3 of them, or just the third one?
I saw all 3 of them.
Okay.
It had been a long time since I've seen them. So, like, they kill the guy, allegedly, but, we don't see him actually die. So then a year later, this guy comes back, and he starts killing off Jennifer Love Hewitt's friends. Okay? He doesn't have a bad look to him. The fisherman or the hookman, whatever you want to call him, he's a formidable villain. But the twist was he was at the scene. The reason he was out there was because of something else before that. And I was never really able to figure out what it was because when they hit him...
Did you watch the movies?
When they hit him, they were on the bend of like the side of a cliff. And there's really no explanation as to like why this man was out there,
was walking around
on the side
at
of
that time,
like the side of a cliff. Like, why would you do that? And it had something to do with like the history. Before then, there was like another murder scene, and he was a part of that. And then here, these people came and they hit him with their car, and it was like, what? I didn't follow it. It was kind of like in the Scream movies where Sydney's mom was like the epicenter of all the evil, and I'm like, what? I didn't really get that. So they kill him at the end of the first movie by severing his hand because he gets caught in a pulley system. And it's kind of like the Three Stooges. He got hooked by a rope, yanked up, his arm got cut off, his leg got tied up in something else, and then he just kind of slingshot himself off the edge of the boat. And they're like, oh, he's dead. And I was like, they didn't do anything to you. You went to go slash and you got your arm hooked on something and then you went up and then you died.
I mean, it could happen.
I mean, I guess it could happen, but he's a terrible fisherman, though.
They put you in that position. They led you to wherever that he was.
Yeah. And then the second movie takes place on a Caribbean island of some sort because they won some bogus.
That's the one I was telling you. Remember, I was like, "Is that the Rio de Janeiro thing where it's not the right answer, but they get hooked?" And
yeah. And so Sarah couldn't sleep, or she went and slept, and then she woke up, and then she came and watched some of that with me. What did you think of that one?
You couldn't sleep because it was terrifying?
No, I was asleep prior, so it was kind of like a nap. And I tried to go back to bed. I was thinking, well, now I'm awake.
Yeah, I think she got up to use the restroom, and that's what did her in. Because then she couldn't, and then I was still out there watching a movie. So she came out there, and she watched like 45 minutes with me. And then it was late, and I was like, okay, I'll pick up tomorrow. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's 3:30. I gotta...
Brandy's in that movie. That's something. Mekhi Phifer. Whatever happened to him after Dawn of the Dead 2004?
These are great questions. Keep them coming.
And then Freddie Prinze Jr. is in there, but of course he's not really in the second one a whole lot. They kill this guy. They shoot him several times, and you think he's dead. The big twist here was that there was this random fourth friend that they had to bring to the Bahamas.
The white guy?
Yeah, it turns out he was the son of the fisherman from the first movie, and the father and son worked in cahoots so that he could become friends with them to go to the Bahamas, so then the father could kill him. And I was like, wow, what a lame twist, you guys. And they shot him several times, and I guess he's dead. But then at the very, very end, it's implied that he's like in a bedroom and he's about to kill, what's her name again?
Moesha.
But I think it's a dream.
Yeah, it might have been a dream. Because they at the end of the first movie, when she was attacked out of the shower, in the beginning of the second movie, they did say, "Oh, did you have another nightmare?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, so that's how they got around that." So yeah, it was just a bunch of dreams.
Oh, okay.
But then in the third one,
it wasn't a dream.
Turns out the fisherman was an actual killer. So the events did happen from the first two movies, but those happened near water. The third movie takes place in a mountain area, like in California or something. There's no water anywhere, and people over there are discussing the legend of the Hook Man. And what ended up happening was there was a carnival, and there was a stunt of people that wanted to do something with a skateboard. All right, so this dude's on the roof of a building, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this sick jump, blah blah blah," and he jumps and he fucking kills himself. Because he lands on a tractor and gets impaled by one of the spouts. So he's dead, and his friends are like, "We need to do something with the body." And so they hide the body and dump him somewhere, and they're like, "We take this to our grave." And this is the twist of the movie, is that the Hook Man or the fisherman is a legend to anybody that is holding a secret like that of murder or death, and they're trying to cover it up. So if you pull something stupid like that, the fisherman will come and kill you.
Wow.
And then in the climax of the movie, he gets shot with a shotgun and like nothing happens to him. And then they're like, "What the fuck?" And they do it again, and they somehow knock his hat off, and he's a fucking zombie. He is a zombie monster that is invincible, and he just like murders everybody. Oh, but he could only be hurt by his own hook, and that's how they defeated him.
That's fucking stupid.
So there you go.
I'm drained almost.
Yeah, I was actually curious when I started watching these. I was like, "Is there a third one?" I bet you the perfect title would be "I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer." Turns out I was right, and then when I looked into it, I was like, "Oh God, this movie like has." Oh man. Okay, so Sarah had said the acting in See No Evil was bad. The acting in Last Summer Part 3 is by far the worst. Like you're talking like Leprechaun 5 type of bad. This was bad. Do you guys want to go ahead and talk about other movies?
Yeah.
Other movies that actually have like some potential. How about Candyman? This movie stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Toyana Paris, and Nathan Stewart Jarrett, and is a spiritual sequel to the original 1992 film. And now Candyman returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where his legend began.
Why didn't you mention Idris Elba and Curtis Jackson?
Are they in this movie?
Isn't Curtis Jackson like the main star?
Are you saying Curtis Jackson? Are you talking about 50 Cent?
Mm-hmm.
No, that is not 50 Cent. He looks like 50 Cent.
Yeah, that wasn't 50 Cent.
And then when he goes and meets the other guy, Idris Elba, that's not Idris?
No.
No.
When was the last horror movie that Idris Elba was in?
I don't know.
I would imagine his profile
Like
is
Star Trek?
higher than that. It's like asking Daniel Craig, when was the last horror movie you were in?
Oh, Chris Rock is doing Spiral. Don't.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. But my God. Have you guys ever seen...
those were their doppelgangers.
Oh, shit. I mean,
Bro,
we'll talk about
I'm going to pull up my phone right now and show you. That's Idris Elba and Curtis.
That's... I mean, no.
Starring for the Candyman.
I don't think they had the budget for those guys.
Have either of you ever seen the original Candyman movie?
No.
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Well, the lore here is basically Bloody Mary. You go in front of a mirror and you say the Candyman's name several times, and like Beetlejuice, he'll appear and he'll do stuff to you. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he doesn't like his name being called out, and then he'll just kill you. It is basically Bloody Mary.
Help me understand the movie here, because I from what we got from the trailer, it sounds like it's paranormal, but then the guy has a hook.
Yeah, he is a paranormal entity. God, it has been... I couldn't even tell you how many years it's been since I've seen Candyman. And I think there's 3 of them, and then they just stopped. There's at least 2. I don't know if there's 3, and...
So is it paranormal, or is it the hook of a fisherman comes back?
No, this has nothing to do with the fisherman. But
Okay.
Candyman does have a hook.
So, but why does it look like 50 Cent gets taken over?
Maybe he does. I don't know.
Oh my jeez.
I like what Manuel said right from the start. He said triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of your stories.
That was a great intro.
The girls were saying Candyman in front of the mirror.
The bathroom mirror at the school.
Yeah, at the school.
Hey, yeah. Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, you had done.
That's where we
something
do
like
dumb shit. Yeah.
But you do it with, you don't have liquid courage, but you do it with companionship. So you have that type of courage with you. So yeah. If I was at school and my friends
I
were
did
like,
it
"Hey,
by
man."
myself.
Oh, dude, you've got some balls.
None. No, I wouldn't do it now.
Famously, Tony Todd was the original Candyman, and I want to say he was in it at least through the second one. Again, I've never seen 2 and 3. I would love to get 2 and 3 and watch these movies, because when I saw the first Candyman years back, I was like, man, this is actually pretty damn good. But of course, I was much younger and I had no idea there was a sequel. And now they're on Blu-ray. All 3 of the Blu-rays are really expensive because they're like collector's editions. So they have all the special features and they're always like $22 at the minimum. And I'm like, that's $67 for all 3 of these. I don't know. But then again, I spent like $40 on It's Alive 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
Woo.
Yeah.
Don't forget to remind me to set up the app, the movie app on your phone.
Oh, see, the thing about Candyman is I would like to give them my money. Because I actually I liked the first one. And I really hope this one... I'm going to go see this. Sarah, do you want to see this movie with me?
Candyman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah had the look in the... What?
Look at it this way. Jordan Peele has given us and Get Out.
True, which I love.
And so now he's doing Candyman. And I was like, whoa, dude. Like, you're going back to a throwback franchise. That's pretty cool.
Get Out was great.
I still haven't seen it, though.
Get
But
Out.
I hear it was really good.
Get Out was good.
Yeah.
Us, not so much.
You didn't like Us?
No.
Oh, man.
Do you know what? I really didn't like Us that much either.
It started off great.
It did.
That was really creepy when that girl was in that maze of mirrors. And
It was.
That was fucking creepy.
Like, I'm telling you, the whole movie had a lot of potential until the end. Until when it got to the end, it's like, oh, that's what this is?
Oh, and you got the explanation of where they were coming from?
Yeah. It's like,
I didn't
this
like it either.
Yeah, it was like The Boy. It's paranormal until you find out there's a guy in the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can get that. Yeah. Okay. So is that a thumbs up or down for Candyman?
Thumbs up for now.
Okay. Thumbs up for me too. Let's take a look at the movie My Spy. This one stars Dave Bautista and Chloe Coleman, and it follows a CIA operative who is at the mercy of a 9-year-old little girl who saw him while he was undercover to surveil her family. This is a comedy.
It reminds me of Dwayne The Rock Johnson with little Madison Pettis.
For the
Was
it the game plan?
The game plan. There
or
you go.
Game day or something?
No, the game plan. You're
Okay.
right. Yep. Just
Yeah.
like that. The little girl even has the same haircut. Big
Any
muscle
movie like
guy.
that reminds me of Kindergarten Cop,
Oh.
Wow.
which sadly I have seen.
Is that
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You've seen Kindergarten Cop, but you haven't seen True Lies?
Yeah.
Sarah?
It wasn't by choice.
But you remember it.
Barely.
How is it not by choice? Who showed it to you? School?
She's like, I was in school.
The one prior.
And he chose to show you that and not True Lies.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a word with a lot of people.
We were all smoking weed and, drinking.
And like there were bad decisions all around. No kidding.
man.
He chose Kindergarten Cop.
But
Yeah.
I think that movie, does that movie serve as like the cookie cutter, like the start of the muscled person who has to bend to the little girl, to the little kid?
It might. Honest to God, I couldn't tell you because I've never seen Kindergarten Cop.
Well, how old is that movie?
Kindergarten Cop.
That's
God
like
damn.
Old.
Yeah,
That's like either late 80s, early 90s.
I was gonna say 94, 3.
It's a comedy. Was it shortly after Terminator 2? Like, did they want to try to make Arnold like a happy guy?
Right, and they continued with Jingle All the Way and like a few other things because he was like, "Oh, you're pretty funny because it's funny for you to hear you say these things."
We could be getting that timeline wrong. I honestly don't know when that movie was released.
And that's why we had the Vin Diesel with the kids, the diaper guy.
You talking about the pacifier?
That guy.
Wow.
And the game plan and so on and so on.
Yeah.
He paved the way.
There you have it. I never would have thought of any of those other movies in comparison to My Spy.
And now we have My Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that when we were pulling up the trailer on YouTube, it said 10 months ago, which I was like, what? But then, I remembered when me and Zach saw Sonic the Hedgehog, we saw the trailer to that. And I guess, clearly the movie was delayed. Don't know why. It looks fine. Maybe they had to do reshoots or whatever, but...
Really, Batista, when are you doing a WWE thing again so we can push it? Going into the Hall of Fame 2020, so... Okay, we'll do it then. That's exactly what's happening.
That's as good enough reason as anyone could ever give.
Kind of like Mark Wahlberg being on Monday Night Raw, cutting a quick promo for AJ Styles and The Undertaker.
Okay, I heard about that. How did I miss that? On Raw.
Did you watch the Hulu version?
No, we watched it. I was writing up the script for the show, and we were just kind of going through segment by segment. And did you see that?
What?
Mark Wahlberg on Raw.
Oh my God, Sarah!
she was in the room with me.
But you know what?
She's looking straight at you like she's with you, and then you're like, "Did you see it? See what?" Wow!
Are you just staring at me
love it.
like am I just a painting or something? Like, God, she just stares at me, but like,
I love it.
I did hear them mention Mark Wahlberg's name.
Okay.
But it didn't register with me that he was ever on the show. So somehow we
both missed it.
I fast forwarded through that segment somewhere.
I think it was while AJ was talking on the mic. He was doing his promo.
Oh, and
then
he
was
talking too much.
Yeah,
and then they went to commercial? Because it had to have been before the Aleister Black thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Nick asked me to fast forward.
Yeah, once he picked up the mic, I was like, speed. Because once he's done, they're going to go to commercial and then they're going to do the match.
Yeah, so he talked. He said, "You don't want any piece of The Undertaker, man. Just walk away, AJ. Walk away. Trust me."
That's random.
And then right after he said that, the announcers were like, "Please catch Mark Wahlberg in his new movie." Blah blah blah.
Wow.
Dude, I started laughing. It just
All right. Well, is that a thumbs up or down for My Spy?
It was funny. I like Batista's good at that comedy, So yeah, I'll watch it. He was really good in Stuber, which
I still have not seen.
I need
Stuber.
to force you to watch that, bro. That's good.
Yes.
You do? Okay. All right. I'm willing to see My Spy. And the final movie that we're going to take a look at is the movie Spiral from the Book of Saw. And this one stars Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock and follows a sadistic mastermind who unleashes a twisted form of justice inspired by the old Jigsaw killings. It is a new chapter in the Book of Saw.
So I'm assuming the Book of Saw is like the Book of Eli or the Book of like there's a bunch of followers and they made these like whatever. Yeah, right?
I'm thinking that it's a way for them not to number these movies because they're embarrassed they made so many. So if they just say blah, blah, blah from the Book of Saw, you're just like, oh, this is in the Saw universe, but they don't have to number it. They don't have to call it.
It's a cult.
They don't have to call it 6, the final chapter, or get, cute with it and call it Jigsaw. Oh, it's not Saw, it's Jigsaw now. And now this one is like, oh, this one's Spiral, but it's the Book of Saw. So if they make another one, it'll be again from the Book of Saw.
Spiral 2, the Book of Saw. No. I think it's a cult. I think someone wrote down like everything. He's like God to them, and it's like, this was great. Whatever.
Yeah.
We follow in your steps. In your name we pray. Spiral into a mirror, and then hope that something happens. What are you doing?
Here comes a little puppet.
Did you just hear you whisper of Candyman?
How did y'all feel about seeing a older, grizzled Chris Rock?
He's older, but he still looks the same to me. Like I know time has passed, but it looks fine.
Sarah?
He looks like he's still from Rush Hour days.
That's Chris Tucker.
My bad.
I was like, oh my.
I always got them confused, and it's not because of the obvious, okay?
They're both tall.
Yeah, and they both sound the same to me for whatever reason.
What?
They're both black. You just skipped over that. You're like, yeah, they're both tall.
He was trying to cover for me, Manuel. God damn it.
Yeah, I could see the similarity. Their voice is unique, both of them.
Yeah. So my bad.
It's so weird.
He still looks young.
After all these years, I think I could finally see him as like a somewhat serious actor, because now at his age, he can't be that snarky young smartass. Like, you have to try now.
Yeah.
We have to see what you're made of. And I can buy him as a cop. I buy him more as a cop than I do Will Smith in Bad Boys.
Really?
Dude, we have a shit ton driving by right now.
Something's going on. Maybe we should check the news.
Nah.
Trump has barricaded himself in the White House. He has a gun to his head.
Then why would these guys here in town be freaking out?
Because there's a lot of Trump supporters.
Oh, okay.
He's asked all of his supporters to do the same.
Okay, so Manuel, you think that this is a cult that's going to follow in Jigsaw's footsteps?
Yes, and I think Chris Rock had the acting skills. He just didn't have to. Kind of like Adam Sandler. They could make those other movies and make tons of money without having to get serious. And now, look at Adam with Uncut Gems.
I mean, he looks to make a couple of good ones, and then he makes some really bad decisions. Like, what the fuck were you thinking with Jack and Jill? What were you thinking?
Okay, Jack, yeah.
That's just a contractual obligation to Netflix.
How long ago was
I never even saw the movie, and I knew it hurt.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
How about Samuel L. Jackson? He finally gets to say, you want to play a game, motherfucker?
Yeah, well, Nick Fury's in this. Isn't that crazy?
Okay, out of Chris Rock and Sam Jackson, which one of them is dying?
You think one of them is dying?
Sure, why not?
Why not the other cop that's white?
There's another cop? Oh, the partner. Oh, he's dead. He's got a family, and he's got a kid. He's dead. He's going to die. Have you not watched a horror movie? The moment you say something like, oh, man, we just moved from here. We got married 6 months ago, and she's got a baby on the way. Like, he's dead.
Oh, you're dead.
Haven't y'all seen the horror movie that makes fun of this ongoing theme in horror movies that the black person always dies first?
Yeah, and what is it? What movie is that? Is that a scary movie? No. Well, who does that? I know what you're talking about, but
It is an all-black cast. The ongoing joke is the black character always dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, now since we have two, which one is it going to be?
As long as one of them dies.
I bet it's, what's his name?
Sam.
No. Chris Rock.
You think Chris Rock is going to die?
I want to make sure I was naming the right one again.
Such a black man's radio.
Well, obviously I need to see this one. I've seen all the other ones. So
I kind of want to make a bet.
Of what? Of who's
course
going to die?
Gambling man.
Sam Jackson or Chris Rock? I'm taking Sam.
I would guess
$10.
I would guess Sam Jackson, and it would be like in Godzilla when they had Bryan Cranston, but they didn't have the money to pay him for the whole movie, so they killed him in the first act. I think Sam Jackson's going to die in the first act.
I think he's barely going to be in the movie, but not die. And I think to make more of an impact, they're going to kill off Chris Rock.
Chris will be in the whole movie, and it'll make the big impact at the end to die.
Yeah. Hey, instead of betting money, why can't we bet food?
Or, I mean, that's what the $10 would be. I mean, it could be...
No.
Could be anything.
Okay. Just as long as it's cheesecake for me.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So this would be part 9 in the Saw universe.
That is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. They've surpassed Police Academy. Good them. Oh, and they've tied now Fast and Furious. So there you go. Who's going to hit 10 movies first? Fast and Furious or Saw?
Saw.
Fast and Furious.
I think Fast will take a little bit longer to come out with 10.
Yeah, because they got a bunch of egos over there. Saw,
they can cut them out.
They could, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
We should make a bet who comes back on the 10th.
So by default, because there's something wrong with me, that's a thumbs up for me because I need to see it.
There is something wrong.
Whether or not I drag you along, or
I want to watch it.
You want to watch it? Okay,
yeah.
Sarah, are you familiar enough with these movies to feel that you
Nope.
can hang? Nope.
I remember the first one came out in theaters.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think I watched it in theaters. I watched it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then I saw almost every year 2, 3, 4, and I just kept thinking, Nick is going to go see these, and then it just keeps going and going. I'm thinking this is utter stupidity.
Yeah, when it got to the fourth or fifth one, I was like, I'm gonna stop. This is it for me.
And here I was like, God damn it, there's another one. Oh my God. Okay, maybe they'll answer questions from the last one, and then they do, and they do more questions, and
they do, but then they make you ask more questions.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, there's just more setup for the next one. Let's hope they have the money to keep going, because if they stop, I'm gonna be more upset, because then my questions don't get answered. All right, so there we go. So this episode of the Six Side Cast, we are going to focus mostly on parallel universes and doppelgangers. Me and Sarah are going to pick up the crux of this episode. Sarah, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Let me get my mess over with first, because I'm terrible at this.
Okay. So Sarah was assigned the doppelgangers portion of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. And were you able to find quite a bit of stuff about this?
Yes, and I hope I put it in an order that does it right.
That does it right?
Yeah.
Could you go ahead and define what a doppelganger is?
Yes, that is my very first thing. See, look at me. I'm becoming Niskis.
It's almost like we had this planned out.
Okay, so what do y'all think a doppelganger is?
Oh, well, I have an idea of what it is.
I've always used it as a lookalike, like a twin.
An evil twin.
Oh.
Well, it's not an evil twin. It could be anything, but...
No, that's very close.
Evil
Both of
twin?
you. Yeah, very close. So, an apparition or double of a living person. That's a very short definition.
Okay.
Or doppelgangers, German for double walker. Or, I think also double ghost or something like that. Or double goer, something like that.
Okay.
Are non-biologically related lookalikes that are not genetically related to you, nor do they have any connection to your family history, but for some odd reason have similar features to you. So your face is one of your most unique features, and is usually what people remember you for. God, I wish that was the case for me.
What if you got like a butt that just won't quit? I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are remembered for the butt that won't quit.
Sometimes you notice the butt first before the face, so that's true.
Maybe.
But no matter what, the face. With more than 7 billion people inhabiting our planet, it may not seem so unlikely that someone out there could resemble you. But that uniqueness may not be entirely true, as the probability of your, quote, twin walking around is higher than you might expect.
Really?
Yeah. The chances of someone looking exactly like someone else in all 8 features, because they identify your features by 8 qualities.
Yeah.
Is about 1 in 1 trillion.
Oh God,
Yeah, those are some odds. I'll take that.
Manuel's like, if I hit it, I'm owning all y'all's asses.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get into like the urban legend and other examples in real life and stuff, I found a website called Twin Strangers, and it's a free website you can go on to.
Oh man.
They also have an app that you can pay $3.99 just to install it, and you can have it. So I created a profile, and it was free, and I get to upload 5 different pictures. I have 3, 2 were oopsies, because they're the exact same. And apparently I matched with over 550 girls. My highest was 82%, and that 82%, which was 2 of them, I do not look like them. Like, there's no
Can
way.
I see? Can we post these pictures on Twitter?
I don't know if you could. Can you even screenshot?
Yeah.
Can you screenshot from the app? Because there
That
are
would
certain apps
be-
that don't allow you to screenshot.
Well, yeah, but then you take another phone and you take a picture.
Well, yeah, okay, you could do that.
But there's this one girl that I showed Niskis, and this girl looks like me and another girl I know. Like, if we had a little sister or if we had a baby, she would look like us.
Okay.
But Nick said, yeah, she looks like you when you were younger. So is this girl?
Sarah, she looks like you.
No, she looks like the girl that I'm talking about.
No, she looks like you when you were 19.
Okay.
When you were a baby.
What? I mean,
How
but
old do you
does
think?
look like Sarah? This Sarah?
No, she does not look like this Sarah. She looks like Sarah when I met her.
Right? Yes, but it's still she does look like her. Like it's not. Even
I want to
like,
see.
not at all. Or, like it does look like her.
I mean, I can see the similarities. I don't
This one I thought maybe more.
Nope.
No? Okay.
see. I saw
Less.
that one as like an older Sarah. She
Oh,
went
no,
into
no.
a-
This one if I had a nose ring.
That one. That one looks a lot like Sarah.
Okay, so that one's second place. The other one was first place for sure.
And, sorry, there's one more. I was like, yeah, I wish. And he says, what? To look not bothered?
Or you look non-interested or
Yeah,
some
not
shit like that.
interested.
That one, not really.
Nah.
No.
Maybe this girl.
Sideways. There you go.
Can you? Are you screenshotting these?
No, but I can.
Can
Please,
you
yeah, screenshot those. We'll send those out. We need to do it. That's so cool.
Yeah, when Sarah did this, I was like, okay, is it a one-time fee of $4 and that's it?
If you want to do the mobile app.
Oh,
But
okay.
you can just go to the website and upload 5 different pictures.
And it's free.
And it's free.
I would want-
Until after 5. But there's no need to do 5.
No. This just would be like a good sample for Twitter so that they can see what we see. And if anybody knows Sarah, that first picture, bro.
You know, I wanted to see the results of what Sarah was doing because there was a curiosity of like, how many motherfuckers out there look like me?
Dude,
How
come
many,
on.
bro?
I mean,
I know of at least one. And the only reason I know about this is because years back, my friend Lolly had a picture given to her from a friend. And I was on the phone with her or something like that, and her friend had given her this picture. And then Lolly was like, she was on the phone with me, and she got upset with me. She was like, why are you in this picture with my friend? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no idea because she was asking me all these random questions about this friend. And I said, I don't know who you're talking about. Who is, let's call her Monica. I'm like, who's Monica? I don't know who this girl is.
dude, I thought it was like with a guy or something. It's like, and he was sucking dick. So I was telling her it wasn't me, but it's kind of hard to convince.
Crazy thing is, weeks later or whatever, I ended up at Lolly's place and I was like, I need to see this picture. She goes upstairs and she brings it down. This motherfucker looked just like me. So that's the only dude that I've ever seen. He had glasses. He even had like the type of haircut that I had at that time. I don't know if I had like spiked hair or whatever I had. This dude had.
Ask Lolly if she knows where he's at right now. He also doesn't like he shaves it off and everything. He works for Toyota.
Wow. So
Well, apparently your dad met a manager somewhere here in town, and he also resembled you. And your dad showed him a picture of you. He
Yeah.
says, wow, we do look alike.
Okay, we need to submit these pictures.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of creepy, but I mean, come on. There's only so many different combinations that nature can throw together before it's like, oh yeah, y'all look kind of alike.
Just throw in Exhibit A. Mix it would be.
So on this site, it shows videos of these twin strangers meeting up. And one, I guess, more... God, my foot's asleep. One more known one, her and her 2 friends, they said, we're on a quest to meet 7 of our doppelgangers. Wow. So 7 of our lookalikes. She's already met 3. And
How many did she have sex with? Can you imagine?
You know,
It's
the
like,
funny thing is that I was actually thinking about that. I was like, if I'm...
Y'all
this
are
podcast
stupid.
is about sex again.
Y'all are stupid.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
God, why am I on this show?
No, because you bring levity to it and sensibility.
I'm actually on a topic that I like.
I know,
You're
no-
sexifying
No,
it.
I'm not trying to sexify nothing. I was not going to say anything.
Oh
Fucking
my
Manuel.
god!
Anyway,
So she's met 3 out of her 7.
yeah.
That sounds
And one of them, they look like they were related. She looked more like her than her actual biological sister did. It's crazy.
And what's crazy is that I bet they took pictures and then they sent it to like their parents and was like, look at this.
They actually did a DNA test.
Oh, no shit.
So
There you
they
go.
had 3 categories:
Uh-huh.
sisters, half sisters, or related.
Yeah.
None of them came back positive.
Damn.
So it's just utter coincidence that they look alike.
it's a nature's coincidence. That's pretty cool.
That they did it with the sister, and it turns out they're not really sisters.
They're just like, you know what? We paid for the package that gives us 4 tests. We only used 3. I have 1 more. Hey, sis, do you want to go? And it's like, I'm your sister. We'll find out.
Well, yeah. Can we just make sure? Hey, Dad, can we talk to you and Mom at the same time tonight?
Oh my god! Honest to God question though.
No, you would not have sex with yourself.
Could you just pull your pants down and see what happens?
No. Here's the thing. You had said that there's a probability of so many people that would look like you based on the number of people that inhabit this planet, right?
And your 8 features, yes.
Yeah, and I had told you that there is a theory that, you know, every person that is 100%, they see themselves as straight. Like, I'm a straight man, I'm attracted to women. Well, and that goes for both sexes of people who are straight. That there is a person on the planet, at least one, that is of the same sex as you, that you will fall head over heels for, in love with, and they will convert you to be gay. And it'll be that just one person. Because I'm totally straight. I would never fall for a man. But the chances, the world is so big and there's so many people that the odds of meeting that person are very low because those people are usually on like the other side of the planet. So my person is probably in like,
just someone you'll never really meet in person.
Yeah, the person that I would the man that I would fall in love with is like in Europe or something. I'm never going to meet him. So there's no way to know. But what if that one guy also looks like me?
Comes out in this app and that's how you meet him?
And I'm like, bro.
Like, what's your name?
That's just sick.
No, it's not.
So we were just having a conversation similar to this, and Sarah, I don't want to hijack this, but just really quick, on the line of where's the line for being gay, we were having we were barbecuing with my buddy and his wife, and she said, where's the line? Is it gay if you're a guy and you let a gay guy suck your dick, but you were in a dry spell and he kind of convinced you the lights were kind of dark, would you be gay for letting a gay guy suck your dick? And I was like, I started thinking about it, but it seemed like Madison said yes immediately. Edgar was like, yes. And Adriana was like, I'm asking the question. I don't know. Is that? And then I couldn't really decide. It kind of fits with what you're saying. So if your mentality is like, if you're okay with the fact that there's a possibility that it could happen, does that make you gay? And so I was like, look, some people experiment when they're in college, when they're younger, whatever, but some people never do. So does that mean that they're gay because they experimented and figured out that that's what they liked or didn't like? Or, I don't know.
I would say, yeah. I would say that, yeah, you're gay. If something like that was to happen, then yeah.
I don't know. So, of course, I don't identify as gay, but I've also never got to experiment with a woman either.
But if Lady Gaga was in the room...
Oh, you bet.
See? There you go. Boom.
Like,
that's what I mean,
but of
though.
course she's my automatic. She's this unattainable...
Unattainable?
Thank you.
She's your unicorn.
She is.
Yeah, you can only see her from afar.
So, of course,
can't ever touch her.
Like, head over heels for this woman because she is who she is. She's all around beautiful, inside and out, just ideal.
And you can't have her.
No.
Because she
only in my dreams, which I've had. I had
active dreams of like hooking up and stuff.
Wow.
3 times.
I mean, where else is it going to happen?
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I've never had a dream about a man, or I don't see a male figure that I just don't. But chances are I haven't met the guy.
Yeah. But so like a regular woman, I guess I haven't, like you said, I haven't met her yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to still identify as straight. So even if I were to make out with a girl, I still think I identify as straight because I don't know. So I guess that's a difficult question.
But making out is not or is as intimate as getting head.
Of course it is.
Right? I feel like it is. I know it's not because obviously those are your private parts, but still it's intimate.
A peck to me...
No, a peck's different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, like full on making out.
Yeah.
That's intimate.
Mm-hmm. But that's still first base, though. Once you move on to like exposure of body parts, that's when you go further along the baseline. Mm-hmm. And then when you do something like oral sex, that's like third base or home run. Basically. But if you're just if I was just making out with a guy, I mean, it's still like homosexual to a degree, but I wouldn't. It's like you could still come back and be like, yeah, I'm still straight.
So we could do levels. So that would be level 8. And
like making
your
out
mouth is
first base. anything beyond that, like we know what the bases are. Come on. Use the base analogy. Come on.
I still think that if you're attracted to somebody, whether it is gender, whatever the gender is, like sometimes you can't deny being like if they are that funny or whatever attracts you, it's gonna be undeniable.
Like if I saw a dude that looked just like me and I was like, damn, he's a sexy beast. Am I thinking of him as a sexy beast or me as a sexy beast?
And
these are the questions that I have, and
it's
I
a
think
psychological
about all the
thing.
time.
That's a psychological thing. Yeah. So that's why when you show me those girls and it look just like you, I'm like, this is gonna run into people or make people run into certain situations where like, hey, do you want to meet up? But they're the same gender, and you're like, I don't know, but it feels like it's me.
Hoy.
These are the conversations. We're always attracted to, I think, psychologically attracted to ourselves. So if someone else looked like you, I think...
Yeah, if there's a feature you really like about yourself and you enhance it, you're going to like it on the person that looks just like you.
Like if I would be like, hey, turn around, and then they do it, I'm like, is that really what my head looks like in the back? I mean, like, that's what your takeaway from this is? Well, yeah, what was yours?
I don't know.
Do you want to look at the back of mine?
But see, you guys would be making each other laugh like all. Not I don't know. Obviously, you're not going to be identical or even the same traits like that. But it'd be funny if it were, and at least him looking like you would help.
And I have always wanted to know what it would be like to have a twin. I've always wondered.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Would the twin be evil? What would Sarah think? What would she do?
Sits down next to Sarah, puts his arm around. He's like, "Yeah, man."
Or it's like,
laughing.
"Hey, Sarah, this is Dylan. He's a son of a bitch." And then she's just like, she's looking left, she's looking right, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Sarah, are you okay?" And like your cheeks start to turn red. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Uh-oh.
The urban legend. Legend has it that if you come face to face with your doppelganger, it's an omen or a warning of death for both you and your twin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not like I had always heard that like if you were going to meet your doppelganger that you are of this earth, but that doppelganger came from another
realm.
Yeah, and they were actually looking for you to kill you and take over your life for whatever reason.
Possibly.
But like you're like that's always what I'd heard. So what you're saying is that if both entities met, they could both die?
Well, that's what this page says.
It's an omen.
It's
Not
an
that
omen.
they're gun like, but like it's foreshadowing of you might die soon.
Oh, okay. All right, maybe that. Okay, maybe I just misinterpreted then.
I first heard of doppelgangers when I was watching Ghost Adventures, and they went to a Waverly Hills sanatorium, so the tuberculosis hospital.
Yeah.
Because it's very active, but for some reason they have seen and heard sightings of someone's who they thought was someone, but they were obviously like right in the next room, and what they heard was down the hall or something like that.
Yeah.
So they said, "Dude, I just saw you, or I just heard you right there. You weren't there?" And he said, "No." And so that's their doppelganger. So of course, if you, I guess, call it like
A merging of two universes.
a paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So,
not
like-
supposed to see yourself in the paradox.
Yeah. So like your friends can see you,
Yeah.
and they could always be confused.
Right.
But
But
then
you can't see yourself.
If you saw yourself,
Yeah, you're doomed.
yeah.
According to urban legend.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy to think about.
Because honestly, if I had gone into like a building with like a group of friends for whatever reason, and they saw me at the end of the hallway, but clearly I was behind them doing something else, and then for whatever reason, if I saw myself at the end of the hallway, like what would I do? Man, I don't know what I would do.
It suggests run for your life. If you keep seeing your doppelganger, chances are that your days are numbered because you'll soon see your demise.
But okay, isn't there also a theory that if you were to see, I mean, like we see pictures of ourselves and we see ourselves in the mirror, but if we saw ourselves standing in front of us, isn't there like a part of our brain that would just get triggered and be like, "You don't look like me"?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
You can't recognize
Is
yourself.
it just like a denial thing?
I don't know.
Because I mean, you would have to be familiar at least a little bit, but man, I don't know. I mean, I saw that picture of that total stranger and I thought he looked like me. But if he was standing in front of me, maybe I'd be like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for a picture of because when you said that we shouldn't meet, I took a picture with mine. I was like, hey, so I was at work and I had like a little booth So people would come and they'd like people that worked there that know this guy were like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just for the questions. So anything you guys have, let me know." And they're like, "You're gonna be late from break," and then kept walking. Like it happened all day, and then finally I'm like, "Why do they keep?" Like somebody just called me, and I forgot what the name of the guy was, but we looked so alike that they literally were confusing me with an agent that was on the phone on the team somewhere else.
Wow.
Oh, no. Finally, I stopped someone who did it again, and I was just like, I'm not who you think I am. And he's like, well, yeah, you don't sound like him. And then I was like, so can you take me to this person? I went over there. I pulled him off the phones during paid time.
Yeah.
Because I had the pool, and we took a picture.
Huh. Y'all definitely have the same hair.
And I think that was the biggest part. I don't think that we really
nose,
looked like a lot alike, but it was enough for people to passing by and be like, "You're gonna be late for break." I remember one of them was like, "What are you doing?" Like it was, yeah, it was
Y'all
just
do
funny.
have the same nose, and y'all, man, that hair is uncanny.
Manuel, you don't smile.
Okay, so I have this theory about people in pictures who don't smile. They can't be trusted.
Oh.
Or they're all bad.
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, you're the one that's
You
not.
don't smile.
You're the one that's not smiling in pictures.
I almost smiled here.
Almost, but didn't.
Nah, that's more just kind of like a default face.
I will find a dude. I'm like, I will find a picture where I smile. Damn it. Wow.
Literally, the next picture is straight faced.
I'll find one.
Okay, Sarah, continue.
Sorry, this is getting dragged out. All right, so
In a good way.
examples in real life. Isaac Walton claimed that English metaphysical poet John Donne, D-O-N-N-E, saw his wife's doppelganger in 1617 in Paris on the same night as the stillbirth of their daughter. Yeah.
Oh, that's not cool.
That's tough. German playwright Goethe described an experience in his autobiography, I'm not even going to pronounce it because it's in German, in which he and his double passed one another on horseback.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're like, who's that fine looking devil?
Did they fall off the horse?
With the advent of social media, there have been several reported cases of people finding their twin stranger online, a modern term for a doppelganger. So this is how I initially found out about it. Thank you, Wikipedia. So, of course, they use facial recognition software in attempts to match them with another user like your parents or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't like the term, what is it? Twin what?
Twin sister?
Twin strangers.
Twin stranger. I don't like that. It doesn't sound nearly as creepy as doppelganger.
Well, it's not supposed to be scary.
I mean, come on. I don't know. I just like the creepier.
So, of course, I always relate doppelganger as the darker side of things.
Yeah.
Twin strangers now makes it fun.
Yeah. It makes it more audibly pleasing.
Yeah, not so scary.
Doppelganger.
One of the most famous depictions of doppelgangers comes from the 1851 sketch and 1864 watercolor called How They Met Themselves by Dante Gabriel Rossetti. According to interpretation, two medieval lovers are walking through the woods at twilight when they encounter their doubles who glow supernaturally. The man draws his sword in astonishment, while his lover appears to collapse in a deathly swoon. Doppelganger imagery occurred in poems Rossetti admired, such as Elizabeth Barrett's Brownings, the Romance of Margaret, and Poe's Silence. Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While doppelganger cases are said to be works of fiction, they are a number of real-life cases in which individuals claim they have met their sinister duo. Among the most noteworthy is Abraham Lincoln's experience, as chronicled by Noah Brooks in his book Washington in Lincoln's Time, 1895. According to his account, soon after Lincoln was elected in 1860, he arrived home one day and looked into the bureau mirror where he saw himself reflecting in double. Lincoln said, quote, nearly at full length, but my face had two separate and distinct images, unquote. Lincoln noticed that although the images were nearly identical, one was, quote, a little paler, say 5 shades than the other. His wife was said to be very worried and told Lincoln she believed that the paleness and half the dual image was a bad omen, which meant that Lincoln would serve his full term but would not live to finish his second.
And then is that exactly what happened?
Yeah.
I can't remember if he was in his first or second term.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
My favorite, in ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Egyptian mythology, a, quote, Ka, K-A, was a tangible, quote, spirit double, having the same memories and feelings as the person to whom the counterpart belongs. Mm-hmm. In one Egyptian myth entitled The Greek Princess, an Egyptian view of the Trojan War, a Ka of Helen was used to mislead Paris of Troy, helping to stop the war.
Oh.
And the last one, which I think makes a lot of sense. People from the Orkney Islands in Scotland feared small fairy-like creatures called trolls. According to legend, trolls would give birth to children who were apt to be sickly. Pregnant women were carefully guarded from the trolls, who would often steal healthy human babies and replace them with their own children, known as changelings, who would transform into exact replicas of the stolen children.
Oh. I like that one.
Yeah. And that's where I left it off.
All right. There you go. You did very good on your assignment.
Thanks, honey. I'm proud of myself.
Well, I was tasked with figuring out what is a parallel universe. And I found some stuff. Hopefully you guys think that it was adequate. Parallel universe is defined as a parallel dimension, an alternate universe, or alternate reality. It is a hypothetical self-contained plane of existence that coexists within our own. The sum of all potential parallel universes that constitute reality is often called a multiverse. I went on a website called space.com, and they actually had 5 theories of why a multiverse is possible. One of the theories was infinite universes. Because we don't know the shape of space and time, one theory is that it is flat and goes on forever, all right? This presents the possibility of many universes being out there. With that in mind, it is possible that universes can start repeating themselves, and this is because particles can only be put together in so many different ways. So, it goes back to facial recognition and, nature can only put together a face so many different ways to when nature is just like, fuck it. These two people look alike, and they're not related.
So, I've seen in the past where the most infamous one, I guess, where Nicolas Cage looks like this old war veteran picture and it was black and white. They look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to find a picture of me resembling someone from that past time. How cool would that be?
Or Nicolas Cage is a time traveler.
Or that.
But
I think there's someone on The Simpsons who's a time traveler. There can only be one.
Matt Groening?
Whoever.
The creator?
Whoever. I think there can only be one.
What is the name of that girl? Is her name Greta Thunberg? That young girl that got the Nobel Peace Prize or whatever the shit?
I don't know.
She was the one that went on with a bunch of senators or whatever. And she was like, how dare you? And I was thinking, why aren't you in school? You know that Greta chick? She's like an activist or whatever the fuck about the polar ice things and all that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know what her name is. Anyway, I follow these like ridiculous conspiracy theory pages on Instagram, and one of them was a picture of her next to an old black and white picture of a woman that looks strikingly similar to this Greta girl, and they're like, could she be a time traveler from the past who went to the future and is now here to try to like help the world become a better place? And I was like, I don't know, why wasn't she in school? I don't know.
Dang.
But I mean, if this photo wasn't doctored, goddamn, she looks a lot like that lady in that old picture.
See, I want to find one of those pictures. I'd be a hell of a lot more impressed.
If you're like, that's me. But it like, do you want to find it, or do you want someone to find it and be like, take a picture and like, Sarah, look at this. This picture was taken in 1814.
I don't care.
What do you think?
Whoever gets there first. but I don't know where to start. So if someone can do that for me, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think you just start looking at these random things. I think you just got to go out in the wild and find them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know how any of that works. Have you ever heard of a bubble universe?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Moving on. I'm kidding.
Ew.
Damn.
Bubble universes, based on research from Tufts University cosmologist Alexander Vilenkin. When looking at space-time as a whole, some areas stop inflating, like in the Big Bang, when it inflated our own universe, while others will keep getting larger. Picture our universe as a bubble, sitting in a network of bubble universes of space. What's interesting about this theory is the other universes could have different laws in physics than our own, since they are not linked together. So I didn't really understand how that got explained. Like here we are, and then we're surrounded by a bunch of other ones, but then contained inside are distinct different universes. And what made me think was that at the end of Men in Black, when they did the big pull out,
The marbles?
and we go into space, and then you see the Milky Way, and we keep going, and suddenly we're a marble, and we're picked up, and an alien drops us into a sack of other marbles that contain all the other galaxies and stuff. So that's what this made me think of.
Oh.
Could that be what this is?
Well, the way you explained it, that's not what I got.
Well, I wasn't sure what I was reading, but I was like, that sounds interesting. Yeah, let's go with that. There is a thing called a daughter universe. If you follow the laws of probability, it suggests that our every outcome that could come from one decision of yours, there would be a range of universes, each of which saw the outcome come to be. So in the universe, you took a job in China, and another one you were on your way to and then your plane landed somewhere different, and you decided to stay, and you didn't go to China. So basically what this is, yeah, I'm going to grab this from the grocery store. There's a universe where you didn't grab it from the grocery store, and you just go about your day.
Yeah, every single decision.
And it's every decision that you make creates a whole new universe where you did the exact opposite, and you just keep going like that.
I thought about that when I left the store today, because I went through the dirt of the median.
Yeah.
That helps line up the parking spots. I was thinking, I wonder what would happen if I actually went around that car instead of going through here.
Those are dangerous thoughts, Sarah.
I know. But I was proud of the path I chose. That's important.
All right. There is a mathematical universe. This theory explains the structure of mathematics may change depending on which universe you reside in. Max Tegmark, the theory proposer from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, said, quote, "A mathematical structure is something that you can describe in a way that's completely independent of human baggage. I believe that there is a universe out there that can exist independently of me that would continue to exist even if there were no humans in it." So, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Like, there's a universe out there where Earth is Earth, but there's no humans, and it's just aquatic life or something? Is that what he means?
Yeah.
I thought he meant where it was just him and no other humans.
Dang.
I was about to say, okay.
And then I had briefly thought, okay, so there's another universe that exists that is exactly like ours, only he is not in it.
Yeah, or that too.
I mean, that could be. I don't know. So I'm aquatic life. He's the only
Solo.
human on Earth. That sounds terrible.
I know.
And then there's one where everyone is as is except him.
Yeah.
What do you think, Manuel?
I was going with the aquatic just by itself. Alone.
We're just a blue planet with some green on it, and that's it. And then, of course, we got parallel universes. Going back to the idea that space-time is flat, the number of possible particle configurations in multiple universes would be limited to, oh god. Okay, so it's 10 little arrow pointing up, 10 little arrow pointing up, 1, 2, 2 distinct possibilities.
What?
Yeah. So you know that little arrow that points up? Like, look at that. What do you call that? And it's not like it's to like 10 little arrow to like the second power. Is that what the arrow would be to?
No.
No? Okay. Because that's what I interpreted it as, and I was like, okay, 10 to the 10th power to the 122nd power?
No.
But anyway, I'm guessing that number equates to something ginormous.
Okay.
Of all the different possibilities that particles can be put together and rearranged to make something different. So with an infinite number of cosmic patches, the particle arrangements within them must repeat infinitely many times over. This means that there are infinitely many parallel universes exactly the same as ours, containing someone exactly like you, as well as patches that differ by just one particle's position, patches that differ by two particles' position, and so on and so forth, all the way that the patches are totally different from ours.
Dang.
So, in a parallel universe, Sarah is Sarah, yet one of her bangs is white. For whatever reason, like from the day you were born, right here, you just had a gray spot. And that would
awesome.
be that would be your difference in that universe.
I would love that one.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Every Spider-Man.
And then there'd be like another one where, you know, your hair is always frizzled and there's nothing you can do to control it.
Yeah, I had curly hair.
There you go, yeah. You are the three Sarahs are the exact same except your hair. And that's how things
Sarah's a teen mom.
Oh god.
The kids are already grown.
We can get into all the different possibilities of like there's a universe out there where me and Manuel are women and you're a man.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh.
No, I meant like me being a man.
Like obviously you wouldn't be Sarah. You'd probably be like Rodney.
Ew.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Guys, she just looked down.
Like what is the male equivalent to Sarah?
If I looked anything like the Snapchat filter that they have, I'd be a good-looking man.
Oh, what Snapchat filter?
The
I
one
showed
that
you.
turns us into women and turns her into a man.
Okay, yeah. Manuel did that to me, and I look like a
typical
Mexicana.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
And yet, funny enough, when I looked at that, I was like, I mean,
oh my! You meet your doppelganger,
I meet
and
my
then you're
female
like,
counterpart.
I'm gonna do this with you, but I'm gonna put the filter on you the whole time.
Wow.
No.
Sarah's just no.
No.
Why would you do that? And then, of course, there's that universe where we are all like me and Manuel are us, and then you are Sarah, but you're evil. You know. And then, of course,
so many.
Then there's one where he's white.
Dang.
And I'm Asian. I don't just look Asian, like I am Asian. I'm just because as of right now, I'm a Hispanic man that gets mistaken to be Asian quite a bit.
Yeah.
I want one of those to have like a wooden leg or something. Like really something really turn left.
Old peg leg over here.
Yeah, and like I'm fine with it. Like it's okay.
And I have gap teeth.
Yeah, something crazy.
So you could like whistle.
Why would you do the podcast with that? Every other word is
Oh gosh. Before his death, physicist Stephen Hawking published his last paper that dealt with the multiverse, and it was published in May of 2018. In an interview with the Washington Post, he said, quote, "We are not down to a single unique universe, but our findings imply a significant reductions of the multiverse to a much smaller range of possible universes." So I'm guessing he means that the possibilities aren't infinite, that the way nature works and I guess the way things can be arranged, that you can actually put a number that doesn't imply infinity. So I guess what he's saying is like there could just only be 100 universes out there that are like ours instead of millions of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But I mean,
cool theory, bro. These are cool theories.
That is literally a cool theory because he's Stephen Hawking's. The question I came across was about black holes, and you know how I feel about black holes. I'm terrified of them. Yeah, Stephen Hawking's rest in peace. He was a cool guy.
I thought you were talking about black holes.
No, man. Black holes can go to hell because they're scary.
Madison says that if there's a black hole, we all die immediately.
We have a black hole in the center of our universe, holding us together.
Actually, it is. It is. It's a super mega black hole, and it's acting as kind of like a toilet where everything just kind of just rotates around it. Mm-hmm. It is the perfect balance of chaos to keep harmony, unless you're like right in the core next to it. Mm-hmm. We are far enough away that we will only just continue to spin. We are so far away that we will not get sucked into it.
How lucky are we?
Yeah, we are very lucky. But there was a simulation that was done that even a tiny black hole that came closer than our moon, it would kill us. Not like a big one, but just a tiny one.
Like, let's say a black hole about the size of the moon, it would still kill us.
In theory.
And the first thing that would happen is it would suck away our atmosphere. So it wouldn't kill us. We would all suffocate. And then we would eventually get sucked in.
Physically move towards it.
Yeah.
What about the theory of if you jump through it, I get like if we didn't die and it didn't suck our atmosphere, we end up on the other side of the black hole, and now we're in universe 52.
Maybe there is that question does get asked, but there is no physical way to get through a black hole, despite what Interstellar told us.
We don't know that.
I mean, of course we don't know that, but there is
cool theories.
Can black holes lead to another dimension? Professor Richard Massey explained, quote, falling through an event horizon is literally passing beyond the veil. Once you went past it, nobody would be able to send a message back. So even if we did, we would never know because the message would have to go backwards through the black hole, and it's impossible.
Nobody on this side could tell the story.
Yeah, we would never get the message back. They would be ripped into pieces, first and foremost, by the enormous gravity. So I doubt anyone falling through would get anywhere, end quote. It is possible to see what happened. It is impossible to see what happens inside a black hole because images ain't going to come out. If it was a gateway to another dimension, cameras would be unable to send it because images and light cannot escape the
Just
pole.
tie a GoPro and throw a lasso through
and
just for a little bit, and then pull it back.
See, I don't know if you could pull it back. Even like once it crosses that event horizon, I don't think there's anything coming back. No matter how much torque you put on that thing, and you're pulling backwards.
Did we use a Nissan? How many Nissan Titans did we use to pull it?
God.
I'm just saying, like, these are cool theories, right? And but anybody you talk to about this are like, that's impossible. You would not be able to do it. Like,
obviously,
okay,
it is impossible.
All of these are theories. What the fuck?
You know what? It could just be nature's way of stopping us from ever getting a true answer if it is a gateway to another dimension. I would like to think that there is something on the other side of it. They have to go somewhere. It's like you flush the toilet in the galaxy. You're like, where the fuck does it go?
To its own ocean.
Now that would be a cool movie. The Earth finally comes in through the black hole on the other side, and obviously NASA and everybody, all the microscopes from that Earth, start picking up this new Earth, and they're like, it looks identical to us. I don't know, but we got to get ready for whatever this new thing that just showed up. It might crash into our Earth or whatever, and then they start communicating.
Yeah. Did y'all see Interstellar?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a very fascinating and scary movie to me because I do fear outer space a lot. And to think of...
Don't worry. Trump's got the Space Force.
Oh, that's right. He has a Space Force.
Not to worry. Relax.
What am I thinking? What am I worried about? I'm all getting worked up here. He'll protect us. But, when they went through that black hole, which was pretty amazing, and they came out on the other side, to think... I had never thought of time and relativity and how that would interact when it comes to gravity because of a black hole. And the idea of them going to that little planet that was right next to the Titan black hole, to think that an hour there was 7 years out in orbit, or 7 years on Earth, on us, is truly, truly scary. So, I don't know, man. You got to take into account all these other things when it comes to parallel universes and all that sort of stuff.
At the end of the day, when he was able to move the book like it moved in the beginning of the movie, but from another universe, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. He was also able to, I guess, time travel back to that point in time.
Yeah, that was cool. You were ever selected because that was the best.
I was still really confused by a couple of those things in that movie. I should probably just go back and watch it again.
Let's watch it.
When I saw it in the theaters, I was just blown away. And I was like, this is the money shot. Take me through that black hole. It's creepy as fuck, and I just want to see what it's like.
Turn this off. Let's go.
So that's pretty much all I have about what a parallel universe is and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I believe that there is something like that out there. Do y'all think that there is?
Yeah.
All right.
I do believe.
So you think on Earth X, the Nazis won?
In one of them, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I think another one the Chinese took over.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Like if this actually is real, yeah, there's a universe where the Nazis won and the Chinese won.
I want to see their Hollywood.
You know that girl that made that song Friday, it's Friday. Like she is another Earth's Taylor Swift.
Ew.
Like that song did it for her.
No.
You got to think about these sort of things, man.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
Think of one outrageous thing that could possibly be happening on another Earth right now.
There'd be no Lady Gaga. That's outrageous.
Oh, that is true. There probably
She's just a bread lady somewhere.
Yeah.
God, with a dream, but she just can't
She's
do
still
it.
go-go dancing in New York.
It's basically A Star Is Born, but she doesn't pull the trigger.
No.
She just kind of stays where she is, and she's like, I'm fine.
No.
And she sings all the
She's
time.
her own alley.
She's in New York. Her boss is Trump, and Trump owns the bakery.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, basically, these bread is good, but it's not great.
I like her muffin. I mean, her muffins.
Oh, yep.
Are you talking about her?
Yes, he would still sexually harass with
Yeah,
her.
okay. But I was asking Sarah if she's referring to the bread in the oven
She knows what she's
or the muffins on her chest.
No, muffin.
That muffin.
Oh.
That's actually a verse in one of her songs. That was a nice little tie-in. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. So they have
Because
it.
she's bluffing with her muffin. And then he says she's working in a bakery and Trump owns it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. He likes her muffin.
Maybe she just really knows the ratio of chocolate chips in the muffin
For
to make
someone
it,
who's a jokester, you suck.
Close your laptop.
which is part of the joke. Yeah. Of course I got it. She was muff diving. Ew.
Ew.
Get it, muffin? That's what you mean, right?
Muffin
Moving
diamond?
on.
Okay, there you go.
Ruined it.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we ride off into the sunset?
No, I'm scared now.
Of what?
Space.
Oh, well, don't dwell on it.
Think about it.
That's my job.
I overanalyze. That's my job.
Okay.
Cut to both of you laying in bed, just looking straight at the ceiling. It's already 3 a.m. and y'all are still just up looking
and
at
she's
the
like,
ceiling.
"Do you think there's a black hole out there?" Well, I know there are. There's millions of them. Just
But do you
none
think
of
it's
them.
going to suck us in at any moment?
No, because
sure?
I
No,
explained
he
it.
doesn't know that.
I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm at least aware of the big one in the middle of our galaxy. Like, okay, so look at it this way.
Answer her question.
I don't know how to answer the question. No, we're not going to get sucked into the super mega black hole at the center of our universe.
There you go. Lie to her.
We can get hit by a meteor at any moment.
That we can, but we also have the Space Force, so we got to have faith. Okay.
Can you put like a song when you said Space Force, like a little like a Power Ranger, like uplifting?
I just sampled the theme song to the Power Rangers.
Just put like a split like for 3 seconds, and that's it. When you every time we use Space Force, we have to like put
have
an
to drop
uplift guitar or something. Yeah, like
I can see what I can do.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give it a shot.
You're really testing his editing skills.
But if I pull it off, it'll be great.
yes, it will.
It'll be great. And then I'll just have that stowed away in all my other sound bits. Next week, would you guys object to having a look at hilarious Dear Diary entries?
We have that is long overdue. We need to do that. The Dear Diary that I mentioned to you guys a couple of weeks back was the Am I the Asshole? I can read a few of those.
Okay, yeah, that's good. When I did a search of hilarious Dear Diaries, I came up with some that were like children's that were hilarious because they're children. They don't know how the world works. And then there's other ones that are like sexual ones. And I was like, oh, these are going to be great. I'm not even going to click them. I'll do that. But yeah, if you want to find out
For those of you who are not in the room, you should have seen Sarah's face
of what?
when you said the sexual ones.
Oh,
I don't know if you meant it on purpose. But she was like, she
No.
like moved, she adjusted. She was like,
okay. So Sarah, you could do the children's ones if you want. They're Dear Diaries. They got to be funny. If you want to listen to our show on YouTube, we do have a YouTube channel that has our episodes. They're on there on a week delay. So they upload every Wednesday, and the actual new episodes, you got to go and listen to them through the podcast stuff. And those drop every Thursday. So last week's Wednesday episode is already up now, I think. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. Anyway, the YouTube channel is Jimmy Blitz.
Last week's episode was loaded yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. What Sarah said. So the YouTube channel is Jimmy Blitz. And I think Jimmy had said, like, if we get so many subscribers, you could then change the name.
We just need 100, y'all, for us to change the name.
That's so weird. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh. I thought, like, once you made the channel, you could do what you want with it.
I'm still trying to figure out why I can't change the picture on Facebook from chops and his tamales. I'm trying to change that to our banner, and it wouldn't let me.
What? Well, that's strange. Manuel, do you know anything about that department?
I'm perplexed right now because you said you couldn't change the name unless you have 100 subscribers.
That's what Jimmy said. I've never dealt with this sort of stuff, so I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
And so Sarah's banner problem with Facebook sounds like a problem that I would have, and that's just a proxy.
That doesn't what.
I take full responsibility for that, even though I had nothing to do with it.
She has something to do with that Lozano guy. Get him out. Give her a hard time.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I just have to keep telling myself I love him. I love him.
Yeah. One of these days, she's going to go scan a credit card, and it's not going to take, and I'm going to be like, Sarah, that's on me. I'm sorry.
So then you're paying for it? Oh, no, I can't do that.
Okay. One of the very first instances, I think, was we were at the Dollar General, and this was stupid of me. I decided to download their app in the store.
Really?
And you were around me. I was thinking, why isn't... Because I did a login and everything, and it wouldn't let me sign in.
Yeah.
And he says, let me just go walk away. And I want to say it worked.
It might have.
Either I quit and I did it when we got home, or it worked in the store. I can't remember. But he says, let me just walk away. It's my fault.
I had nothing to do with it. But because I was within 10 feet of her, she got sucked into the vortex of Nick.
But she got a little bit away, and it worked.
It's like, we're far enough away from the super mega black hole that we're not affected by it. I had to walk far enough, and then my dark cloud followed me. And she was like, he's just out of range. It works.
Wow.
But no, that doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah. I told you that when I was buying my new car a year ago. You know, they do it on like iPads now, and they type in like your insurance information and all that stuff. The gentleman that was helping me do all that information, you know, he gave it to me. I typed it all in, and then I handed it back to him. He would hit accept, and it crashed. So then he had to re-upload or whatever, reboot it, and I did it again. I handed it back to him. It crashed, and he goes, "Just write your stuff down, and I'll fill it all." And so I filled it all in. I walked away. I came back later. I was like, did it work? He goes, yeah, as soon as you walked away, I did it again and it worked. And when it happened the second time and it crashed, the iPad, he goes, well, I've never seen that happen before. And I just sat there thinking,
this is weird.
I don't know how many times I've been told, well, I've never seen this happen before in my life when it involves technology and I'm there having to deal with it. Like if something can go wrong, it will go wrong because it's me.
It sounds like you suck.
And then remember when I had to go get my license or whatever?
Yeah.
The kiosk. It was one of those type in your phone
Poor
number.
Thing. He was just not having it that day.
You know, you make an appointment or whatever and you go over there. And so these people in front of me were typing in their phone number or whatever, and it spat out a receipt. And that was their ticket for their appointment. I go up there and I'm like, oh, okay. I do the information that it asks and I hit my name and it finds me. I hit enter and it spins. You could hear it like whirring. But no ticket came out. And I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? I walk out of line. The next person does the exact same thing I do, and their ticket came out. And this is just...
You can't make this shit up.
This is the life that I have to live. When I'm just like... And then people look at me like I did something wrong. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. It asked for my phone number. I gave it, and it didn't give me a ticket.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, I just suck. All right, so next week it'll be hilarious Dear Diary entries, and it should be a whole lot of fun. Till next time, his name was Manuel, my name was Nick, her name was Sarah. Bye.